some people say I'm a genius, but I mean, really, how can you screw up the 5th and the 7th pick?
Don't worry, Joe Schoen, you did it. This is Tim's New York Giants Right Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Still getting my voice back. We did a video yesterday. Is it time to fire Brian Daboll? We have the sister video today. Is it time to fire Joe Schoen? I was waiting till after the trade deadline before I did this video because I kind of wanted to see what the Giants were going to do. You're sitting at a team that's sitting there at 2-7. You have players such as Darius Slayton, Azeez Ojulari, who are probably not going to be back next year. If Azeez Ojulari continues on the path that he's on, he's going to get like Bryce Huff money. He's going to get paid if he can stay healthy. And the same thing with Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is a third to a fourth wide receiver on a good team. He is a number 2 on this team. He has been a good Giant for years. He's at the end of his contract. With everything that's gone on here in New York and basically only tasting the playoffs once in his entire career here, I guarantee he's going to move on after this season. And you look at the way the Giants have had this thought process over the years, and we're not going to get back to the Gettleman who should have moved on from certain players that he knew wasn't going to come back. But you look at what Joe Schoen has done. You could have got something for Saquon Barkley. You knew it was a losing season last year. You were just trying to save face and get some wins. You could have moved on from Xavier McKinney, knowing damn well you weren't going to pay him top of the league safety money. A couple of years back, you could have moved on from Julian Love. And then Julian Love, who turned down that larger deal for the Giants at $10 million a year, came back hat in hand with a 2-year, $12 million deal from Seattle saying, hey, listen, you match it, I'll stay. But Joe Schoen Joe Schoen, who, of course, always reads his talent in the room so well, decided to move on from Julian Love. So you kind of had this thought process, was it going to end up the same way at the end of this deadline? Dallas made the move to grab a wide receiver. Washington made the move to grab the four-time Pro Bowler corner and Lattimore. And again, the Giants stand pat. You're 2-7. You need assets. You need draft picks. You're within the rebuild, and you stand pat. Come on, Joe. What the fuck are you thinking? We've talked about it a million times. We've got into the mind's eye. We got into the window of the looking glass with Hard Knocks and his inability to read the market, his inability to diagnose talent, his inability to listen to his staff, but not moving on from players in a lost season that you know aren't going to come back. That's just craziness wrapped in a nutty. That's just craziness wrapped in nuttiness. That's all that is. You triple down on a quarterback that isn't good. You continuously play him, maybe just for draft position, but you're a 2-7 team going to Germany to face a Carolina team that you hopefully at the beginning of the season we're going to be demonstrably better than. But now we're looking at this team, and I keep feeling it.
It's a trap.
This could be the ultimate trap game for the Giants. Seriously. But what are we supposed to do? Listen, the Azeez Ojulari thing is a big gamble. Big gamble. Why? Because what if he gets hurt in the next couple of weeks and you've lost him for the season? So you're not going to get his production, and you're not going to get any assets for him. What if he excels and has a 10, 12 sack season and wants to try and go out and get Marcus Golden money? Marcus Golden didn't get paid, but Azeez Ojulari is a younger player. So what happens then? You're going to get into a bidding war with other teams for a player you knew you weren't going to keep? It's not just rolling the dice. It's rolling the dice in stupidity. Joe Schoen makes this a hell of a lot harder than it has to be.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
And that's what I feel like Joe Schoen does all the time. You get a sprinkling of good picks, and I mean a sprinkling, You haven't found anyone really in free agency. Your trades have been terrible. Your cap management's still god awful. You got rid of Nick McLeod because you don't have cap space. People are like, well, Tim, you were wrong about the salary cap numbers. No, actually, I was right about salary cap numbers. Just the problem was I didn't remove a column. I knew we were going to have limited cap space. I knew we were going to run out of money by the middle of the season. And the fact that you have Nick McLeod, who has not played well at times but has started 5 games, is a key contributor on special teams. You got rid of him because he wouldn't take a pay cut. Why? Because you need the money. You need the money for cap space. You need the money for your operational cap space. How this team continuously, and now year 3 of the Joe Schoen era, which they should have been out of all their cap purgatory, is still in cap issues. Oh, I know why, because you gave Daniel Jones that contract. You didn't stagger the contracts of Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence, and then you traded for Brian Burns. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. No, I guess that was an easy answer to that fucking question. I mean, what are you supposed to do? You took the boy wonder. You have a guy that you thought was going to be this man that's going to turn this franchise around, that was going to bring these players in, that was going to make this franchise better. But all you've gotten is a guy that's, I think, caused more harm than good.
Now, I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty bad.
It does sound pretty bad. And you keep tripling down on your quarterback. You keep tripling down on your head coach because of the fact that you have this, and maybe it isn't a sense of false security from your from your owner. It might not be. Mara may truly believe he's going to bring these idiots back for year 4. What happens if we only win 4 games this year? How can you look at the fan base as an owner and say, listen, I trust these guys? Because since they went 7-2, they've done so well. It's not like they went 7-2, then 2-5-1, then only 6 wins last year and only have 2 wins this year. No. That ain't the case. That ain't the case whatsoever. I love the people that keep saying, we can't keep changing the general manager and the head coach every 3 years. Why not? I said this from year 1 of Dable and Shane. I would like to see the team get better. I don't have to see all the wins as a season ticket holder, but I want to see the team get better. I want to see a progression. I want to see a build to the future. And I watched the likes of Saquon Barkley on a 3rd and 12 using a spin move and then jumping over a guy backwards against the Jacksonville Jaguars to get a first down. And he couldn't. And he could not stay with the Giants. And then I see the misrepresentation of the Barkley negotiations by Giant content creators. Well, Giants also offered him all this money. He turned it down. No. Giants offered him the contract, but only guaranteed the 1.5 years, which was only going to be a little bit more than he would have made on a second tag. So let's talk about it like it is. Let's just not make shit up. I mean, like I said, you want to go back to the future.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
And the future was Saquon Barkley. The future was Xavier McKinney. Imagine you having a defensive secondary with your safeties as McKinney and Love. And then you have the likes of Saquon Barkley in the backfield. How much better would this team be? Imagine you actually drafted a quarterback this year. You didn't go out and get a wide receiver who was already showing that he may not want to be here for much longer. And he's only been here for 9 weeks. He's already talking about you got to put the right people out on the field to win. He's already going out and having a good time with his buddy Jaden Daniels on the field at halftime and after the game after a bad loss to Washington. What are you supposed to do with that? You ran Odell Beckham, not Shane, but Giants ran OBJ out of town for basically stuff similar, if not less. Now, the shit with Josh Norman and OBJ, that was not acceptable. But to see this guy, I don't have a problem with Jaden Daniels powering around with Malik Neighbors after the game. but not going in at halftime. I mean, when are people going to see it? When is it going to come to fruition?
Do you see the light? What light? Have you seen the light?
Yes! Yes! Jesus H. Goddamn Christ! I have seen the light!
When is Mara going to see the light and go out and get a true football? What you need to do is hire a president of football operations to oversee everything. I don't want Bill Belichick coaching this team because these reunions never work out. I don't want Bill Belichick being the general manager. If you want to bring in someone like Belichick, make him the president of football operations. Higher than a general manager. Have him oversee everything. Kind of like what Parcells did in Miami that last run. Have him oversee everything. And have him make the football decisions. Take it away from the Maras. Put football people in the right places to do what this team needs to do. Joe Schoen is a smug, uncrustable eating motherfucker who hasn't got anything right. It's plain and simple. The few things that he has gotten right are way too far in between. But you have to look at this from a different scenario. And that scenario is building this team with foundation pieces, building this team with building blocks.
Because you know what? People say I'm a genius, but how can you really screw up 5 and 7?
You did. And those were supposed to be two of the main building blocks of this team. So you need someone to come in here, and you need someone to show faith in the organization and faith in a process. And that process to me is president of football operations, general manager, head coach, owner stays the fuck out of it.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
And I won't have a lack of faith anymore because you need to build this the right way and you need help. Because for the last 10, 11 years, none of this has been going the right way at all. And the stench starts from the top with the owner and goes down to the general manager.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid, but you special, man. You reached out and you touched it by the heart.
So I'm hoping we touched a heart with John Mara with this video as a season ticket holder that I am. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fun coming up. My voice is starting to come back, so we're gonna do we're gonna jump back on the live stream trail. And as always, this is Tim. This is your Giant Straight Talk. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell if you want to know why. That'd be awesome.